Hello! Today, the third and final and deciding one-day international between Australia and India is happening at the G. The G does not stand for Gaurav. The MCG is what I mean. Hello, I am Gaurav Kapur on Cricbuzz Live with me, Mr. Ajay Jadeja, Mr. Zaheer Khan. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just checking the clock, and in case people are. Because that happens, you get used to us and then you're like, oh my God, why are they not here? Basically, there was a little rain in Melbourne, तो घूंघट लगा रहा था pitch के ऊपर. That's why there was, the toss was delayed, and now the toss has happened, and Virat Kohli has won the toss and decided that India is going to chase. Aussie is going to be batting first. That's because there has been a bit of rain in Melbourne, and obviously when it rains, you want to be batting second. Duckworth, Lewis, Stern, and stop and start, etc., etc. So there is business taken care of.
And the time in Melbourne is 1:05.
1:05.
टाइमिंग की बात थी ना कि कहाँ कितने बजे है,
Yeah.
तो मैंने कहा टाइम लेके आया हूँ. 1:05 दोपहर के मेलबर्न में इस वक्त.
रेड एक
यहाँ पे
ही तैयारी करके आए हो कि एक और पूछ लूं?
यहाँ इतनी सुबह, हाँ पूछ लो, कहीं का भी पूछ लो. आज तो रखा हुआ है मैंने.
USA?
यूएसए में कौन सी साइड चाहिए आपको? 9:06 लगे हैं.
The Eastern Seaboard?
ईस्ट कौन सी साइड होता है जहाँ से
न्यूयॉर्क
सूरज उगता है?
नहीं, न्यूयॉर्क.
9 बजे हैं सुबह.
9 बजे. एंड कैलिफोर्निया?
6 बजे.
Honolulu?
ऑनलुलु वही है, सेम टाइम.
जापान?
जापान इसमें लिखा नहीं है.
लव इन टोक्यो.
इतनी सुबह ना ये चाहिए उठने के लिए.
नेशन का प्रोग्राम शुरू नहीं हुआ है.
नहीं हुआ अभी वहाँ का. चलो ठीक है, यहाँ का प्रोग्राम शुरू हो गया है, और प्रोग्राम तो मेलबर्न में जो शुरू होने वाला है उसमें जो है, देखिए जब प्रोग्राम होता है तो उस पे एक्टर आते हैं. आज जो एक्टर आ रहे हैं और जो एडिलेड में एक्टर आए थे उनमें से कई एक्टर्स मिसिंग हैं. You normally see that with a winning team and you're going into a deciding game, you try to go as unchanged as possible. Not for India. This Indian team does things very differently. There are 3 changes coming in for Ambati Raidu. Vijay Shankar comes in for Mohammad Siraj, and Chahal replaces Kuldeep. So, like for like almost, if you mirror image, replacement over there. Interesting, huh? Zach didn't see that coming.
Well, looks like MS Dhoni is going to bat at number 4.
Yes,
Good news for Indian team. We've been actually talking about it for a while now, that he should be given number 4 spot, give him more time to kind of use the situation according to how he likes to use it. Take more time. But I think 6th bowling option has definitely played a part here. And that's why you're seeing Kedar Jadhav in that lineup. Looking back also in the last couple of games, you've seen third seamer going for runs. So that's something which has brought about this change. They felt that we need 6 bowling options. Plus, when you play someone like Vijay Shankar, you're not sure whether you're going to use him for all the quota of 10 overs. He's mainly playing as an all-rounder, so you need that cushion as well. So that's the thought process. It's evident. I'm surprised actually with Kuldeep's missing out on playing 11. Again, want to give chance to Ravindra Jadeja, has been contributing with the bat as well.
Yeah.
He's always in the game, so that's something, a different combination which probably the team is looking at in a very crucial game. So that's something which we've seen with this team. They've always been open to doing changes and looking to improve on, rather than sticking to the old saying that why change it when it's not broken.
Yeah. If it ain't broke, why fix it?
Yeah.
But Ajay, you're looking at obviously Vijay Shankar and Kedar as your 5th bowler, effectively, right? They're both gonna. But the thing is, that Vijay Shankar, when he was playing List A in New Zealand right now, there was 3 games. He bowled just about, I think it was 10 or 11 overs is all he bowled. So that's all he did. So it's interesting that obviously they're bringing him in as a bowler, as an all-rounder. Virat clearly said that at the toss, but he's not bowled much.
I mean, we haven't seen him much. Even in the
Yeah.
IPL, if you see, he hasn't bowled, at crucial stages. He's bowled a few overs here and there. So I'm not too sure how it works. How I look at the 5th bowler, what happens with teams when you're leading a side is that if your 5th bowler comes on to bowl over number 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, then you are in trouble with that 5th bowler, because if he has a bad day, then you have to look for that 6th bowler.
Yeah.
But if your 5th bowler is a kind of bowler who bowls around the 30th over, or in the middle of the game, then you never miss the 6th bowler. In this case, what is going to happen is with Vijay Shankar, I don't know how he's going to use him. Is he going to use him? Because there are some teams, say Stoinis is a good example. Stoinis is their 5th bowler, or they share it with Maxwell, but he doesn't come on to bowl in the 8th over or the 11th over. that's the stage of the game where, the batsman doesn't dominate the game.
Yeah.
When you get to a latter stage of the innings, you can actually get away with somebody like that. Who's,
Great point. So 20 to 40, the sleepy period of the ODI.
So in the sleepy period, unless you are blessed to have two spinners like Chahal or Kuldeep playing together where you're still looking to attack, it really doesn't matter who's bowling at that stage. If the batsman is not taking chances, and with that open field, you can, put your fielders back. So the difference is not that much. But when you bring in somebody like Vijay Shankar or anybody, if he's your fifth bowler and he's your weakling, and you get him to bowl at the start of the innings, that could really impact your game. And the impact sometimes is not seen just with the numbers that he gives you. The impact is seen because you don't pick up wickets, and then the last 10 overs, what we've seen in the last two games. The impact of two spinners that you played in the middle and how middle stages have gone is that you haven't picked up wickets, and that's why those 90, 80, 100 runs towards the end of the innings come.
Great point.
So it depends how they use him. It's too early to make a call on whether, he's good enough to bowl or not. I haven't seen him enough, to be honest.
So I am saying Vijay Shankar will bowl 4 and Kedar Jadhav will bowl 6.
Why? Why not 5?
I don't know. That's just my call. It's just, it's, we like to play guessing games over here. You feel like that because you got such a valid point. When you have, if you had Shami last time, right? When you have always said that Shami is your guy who you should be bowling 8, 10, 12, perhaps sort of crucial sort of times. If you were to open, let's say, with a Siraj or a Bhuvi opens on one side anyway. So that's what you said last time. But you can't, if Vijay Shankar is your third seamer, you are not definitely bowling him in 8, 10, 12 because it's way too crucial at that point in time.
The stack up of the overs definitely is going to affect.
Yeah.
It's something which we'll look at right now. Probably, Chahal being used in the power play to adjust those 2 overs because back of Virat's mind, it'll always be there. How am I going to stack up my back end overs? Those 8, 10 overs, the death overs, which are going to be so crucial. Now you know that you need Bhuvneshwar and Shami to take that responsibility.
Yeah.
So that's something which will always be playing on Virat's mind if they don't pick up too many wickets up front.
Yeah.
So that's something the game will decide if the first spell of Shami and Bhuvneshwar gives a great start, more than 2 wickets. Then things will be very easy for Virat to maneuver in the middle overs.
Yeah.
But if it's a steady start from Australia,
if Finch comes into form
then
today,
you'll see that the back end overs, they'll be straight away. He'll be thinking about how am I going to stack up those last 10 overs.
Man, it is going to be tricky. Yeah. So 3 changes, and that of course means the batting order. Well, let's look. I'm just going to pull out the 11 once again because there was obviously Virat had said Ambati Raidu. He's our number 4. Our number 4 Russian roulette has stopped. Yeah.
Started again.
Yeah, but apparently it started again because in all likelihood, MS is batting at 4, Kedar at 5. Dinesh is very good at 6, so you don't want to upset. You don't want to tumble that apple cart. So the choice is actually between Kedar and MS at 4, and it's most likely going to be MS, isn't it?
Yeah, in a normal circumstances. I hope that, if you go back to the first game, had it been, somebody else, at that game, when MS walked in, you should have actually had Dinesh Karthik walk in because at 10 for 3 or that period, I think that, these 3, at least today with MS, Kedar and Dinesh Karthik, they're players who've been around for long enough. They understand the game. Kedar, maybe not in number of games, but the mindset that he has. They could actually bat at any number depending on what stage the game is at.
Yeah.
Because they can actually mold their game according to that. Otherwise, ideally, yes, if you're batting first, I would want MS to bat at 4 because what he does is keeps the whole team calm and everybody else can carry on playing the way they would.
Yeah.
No, and he'll take the innings till the end. But when you're batting second, then there is a lot more to see. If your score is 10 for 3 or something, then even Vijay Shankar is not a bad player to send him in. See, you got to. It's a game. Yes, we know we like to sit here and say it should happen like this. But there, what is happening is that you've got to get past each situation of the game.
Dynamic situations.
And, make the best out of it. It's not about an ego that, MS should bat at 4 or he should not bat at 4. He should get enough time. I think that is what at least I mean to say is that he should get at least a few balls to get in before he has to keep going.
So Virat has actually said that, and Virat said that before about the second game in Adelaide, talking about MS Dhoni's innings. He said, I was batting with him on the other end, and the thing that MS does is he keeps me calm. He says, don't worry, take the game late. And that's the one thing, Zach, you've played with him so much, you've seen it. He has the ability to read the game just that little decimal point better or quicker or deeper or further than most other people.
I think he has ability to soak in pressure. That's something, which he has been doing consistently well, and that's something which defines MS. That's why we always talk about every time MS is batting. Okay, now he's going to take the game deep, but he's so used to doing that because he's used to getting the bowlers committing those errors. The pressure, once the pressure is come onto the bowlers, then the errors start happening. Then it becomes easier for you. Yes, at times it's not going to happen, but more often than not, you will see that bowlers succumbing to that pressure, and then faltering, and that's when, as batsmen, you can hurt them the most. So when the bowler's on top, you just kind of see off those phases, and that's what MS has been doing so well.
He is the Bhishma Pitama of the Indian cricket team, and unfortunately, most fickle fans have put him on a bed of arrows now. Don't do that, man. Don't do
Good
that.
one.
Yeah?
Good
Don't
one.
do it. Look at the joy he's given us. Unfortunately, the person or the thing that is not giving us joy is rain. Not Joyda. Joyda gives us lots of joy, but the rain is giving us no joy at all because it's apparently started drizzling in Melbourne again. Now, with the T20 series, of course, there was a three-way tie. One game was won by Australia, one by India, and one by rain. And we're hoping that doesn't happen in the one-day internationals, because one's been won by Australia, one by India. Now rain is looking and going, mera number kab aayega? Aaj nahi. No, don't be naughty. Go back. Go back. So apparently it started drizzling again. So some more coffee.
Chai time,
Coffee
coffee
perhaps?
time.
Is it too early to start about the overcuts?
As it is.
The
Is it too early to start talking about overcuts?
Oh, no. So I do have to tell you one thing. We were talking about MS Dhoni and absorbing pressure. I just feel that the way he's taken games so deep and towards the last over in the last 10 years, the number of games he's taken, I feel all the official broadcasters all over the world should give him a performance bonus, right? Because the number of premium ads he has sold by taking the game to the last over, you got to do it, man. Come on, guys. Come on. I mean, it's not like MS doesn't have enough money, so he doesn't really need it. But as a principle, I think that would be good. Let's have a look at the Australia 11 as well, because they had a force change with Behrendorff. And Behrendorff, of course, had a back issue. And therefore, Billy Stanlake has come in. The short bowler, Billy Stanlake. Yeah. Billy Stanlake, all of what is he, 6'6"? 6'7"?
6'7".
6'7". So fair enough to say that he's bowling the ball from the first floor, but we don't have any short openers. They're good height as well, so they can play him from the mezzanine. And Nathan Lyon goes out and Adam Zampa comes in. There was talk about this yesterday as well. Lyon probably not as effective in the two one-day internationals as he was in the tests.
My personal opinion is he's pretty good. I mean, you look at that side, the stage at which he's been bowling. What he does is makes it difficult for the batsman.
Yeah.
In sense that he maybe, I think it was the second game or the first game, where he's probably gone for 45, 50 or 60 in those 10 overs. But there'll be about 4 or 5 sixes, not 30 singles. And I think somebody who bowls in the middle of the innings, if there is a batsman at the other end who hits you for sixes or boundaries, or he takes chance, or he has the skill to maneuver that, fair enough. But when a bowler is giving you 5-4 singles, I think that's a bowler that batsman prefers to have.
Yeah.
And that is why the success of Kuldeep and Chahal in the last year or so has happened, because players around the world had got used to this in the middle. That the bowler is also bowling faster. He's happy giving you 4-5 runs an over. You are happy taking 4-5 runs an over, at least in the first 6-8 overs of that bowler. And I think Nathan Lyon doesn't allow you to do that.
Yeah.
You've got to get after him. You hit him for a 6, he doesn't care. He keeps flighting it and makes you make that effort to get those runs rather than give those singles. So he's taking those chances. It's just that the Indian players are so far superior than everybody else in the world in terms of playing spin that he hasn't looked that effective. But I feel they probably held him back, and they're sure now that this is the man who's going to go to the World Cup and be our #1 spinner. That's the way I see it. He'd probably be the one who will be starting in World Cup against all the sides. He's bowled over the wicket to start with, then he's brought this whole round the wicket. If you see him bowl round the wicket, he's drifting the ball, he's got a different field. So I think he was probably the #1 bowler for Australia. I don't see this as somebody who's been dropped. Maybe they want to give a couple of games to Zampa as well, because they're
Zampa
doing this.
was their go-to guy. I mean, for pretty much the last year, it was Zampa who was playing ahead, and Lyon came back into the ODI squad.
Yeah, so today it could be different. Zampa might have a great day, But if we come back, when we come back at the end of the game, I'm sure that Zampa would have given a lot many more singles, because he's also not one of those who tosses it up. He's, you know, he tries to fire it in. He bowls towards the end of the innings as well. But he'll probably go for many more singles, and ask an Indian, they'd probably prefer a Zampa versus a Nathan Lyon.
Interesting there though. Obviously no Behrendorff there as well. And Billy Stanley comes in. Your impressions, Zach, on Billy Stanley, on what you've seen in the last, I think, year and a half that he's been sort of around?
He's been very good. I think every time he has missed matches is because of physical fitness, not because of his performances. He has always had that impact on the game. Very tall guy, extracts that extra bounce, which always makes things difficult for batsmen, and especially in shorter formats. You know, when you have extra bounce, it's not easy to hit those on the rise shots. So, you know, that's something which always has been working in his favor. Has that X factor of bowling really quick. We've seen it in IPL as well when he played for Sunrisers. So that's something which has been going for him. And in terms of lead up to the World Cup from Australian point of view, they're still searching for options. I mean, the fact that Peter Siddle has been called back shows
after
that they are
8 years.
Exactly. So it shows that they're still finding those answers for the World Cup pace battery. So that's something which will be good opportunity for Billy Stanley as well to claim his spot back.
Yeah, I mean, you do have a Mitchell Stark, a Josh Hazelwood, a Pat Cummins. You know, you've got a lot of guys who are there, but they've just not been playing a shorter format.
Question to Zach is, because I know, you know, you play more cricket now than in the past. There's no doubt about it. Its strain is different. One thing that is very difficult to understand is, it's not that people didn't have injuries in the past, because fast bowling is tough. You do get injured. But in olden days, if there was an injury, it was probably an injury that took really long for somebody. Somebody, you know, got knee, somebody got a hip problem or a shoulder problem or an ankle, whatever it was, you know, a couple of months out of the game. Now we see a lot of players. I mean, this is an example that somebody has been away for a couple of games, and then he's back, then he's injured again, then they are back. Bhuvneshwar Kumar is another example throughout the last year. What is the difference between what used to happen in the past, where if somebody got injured, it's possible, but it used to take them really long to recover, and once they came back, that injury was almost sorted out. Now injuries keep happening. Why is that? I mean, you're the best person, I guess.
It has to differ case to case for sure. You know, that depending on the nature of the injury. There are some niggles which you can continue with. You know, you can continue playing with those niggles. It all depends on how the nature of the injury is. Like, you know, you make your comebacks. The important thing is not to rush back, and that's something which I personally learned with experiences. You know, you should always look to be back 120% fit rather than just rushing your comeback, because it doesn't really help you kind of sustain that comeback. You know,
but it's tempting, right? I mean,
it's always tempting, because as a cricketer, you don't want to sit out and watch the games. Plus, it's frustrating when you get injured and you know that you can be out there, but you have to deal with the mental side of things as well. So at times you rush it, and that's when things backfire.
So let me put it. Niggle were earlier, niggles would be now. What is a call that a player or a team takes now? Because when you have a niggle, you have two choices: either to rest it out or to go through with it. Which is the one that the modern day players take?
That I'm not sure.
No, I think you're a modern day player.
You're a modern day player. You're youth.
Say, what would you do?
No,
if you had a niggle.
Okay, let me put it this way.
You are a wrong example, but
no,
you would be forced by a team to play.
Yeah.
Right? You know, there are certain players, I understand that, you know, even if you have a niggle, it's a kill, Zach, please, jaruri hai. But I'm saying, say, somebody else who's not the premier bowler of the side or a batsman. In olden days, I can tell you very simple. If anybody had a niggle, they didn't tell anybody. They just carried on playing because you didn't want to miss out. But today I see them missing out so often, and they come back. So that's what I wanted to understand. When there is a niggle, what's the call in modern day cricket?
Well, one thing I can assure you, that the help available around it in terms of a player dealing with injuries is far more superior now. You know, there are enough people around to guide you in a right way. End of the day, it's up to the individual as well, because he's someone who is giving the feedback to the guys advising him. If he's saying I'm fit, then the physio or the doctor is going to listen to him saying that, okay, you know, he's good enough to go. But if he's not there and it's just because he wants to be out there on the field and playing cricket match, that's something an individual call. So you can hide things and then things can backfire. Sometimes it's genuine as well, because as in practices, the intensity of practice or a first class match is completely different to the highest level of cricket. So that's something which can happen, that you misjudge about how much you can push, but it's very hard to pinpoint on a reason that okay, this is the reason things are happening this way. It has to be case to case study in terms of how one is going. Like you given example of Bhuvneshwar has been a classic example, because he's been in and out, stopping and changing. He's been part of the team as well. So it's something which tells me that there is a niggle which is not settling. So he's taking the time off. He's thinking that okay, he's there, but when he's coming back again, he's feeling that oh, it's not really there, or the niggle is coming back. So it has to be depending on what exactly is the root cause of the issue.
Well, and you know, modern day cricket is such that somebody comes and takes your place and you see it happening. You're like, oh my God, I was a surety to play and somebody's taking it. All human beings, and they're all young. So as Zach said, as you go forward, you get experience and age comes in, you realize that, wait, hang on, you've got to prioritize it slightly differently. The exuberance of youth can sometimes lead your niggle to become an injury. So all of you sit down on your couch, don't worry about anything. The match is going to start 10 minutes later than it was supposed to because of a slight drizzle. Because if you run around in the rain, you're going to mess up your ankle. All right, we talk about some golden moments that have happened in this tour down under for India. We've, of course, Harsha Bhogle has been there in Australia, keeps sending us these little chitti bhejte na, chitti aayi hai. So he keeps sending those little messages in a bottle, making us feel bad that he's got, you know, better sunshine, better wine, better food on some occasions, you know, no pollution. But, you know, that's Harsha.
But you
just
got,
make it jealous.
You've got better company.
I got better company, that's right. High five from there.
You're at home, you're with your wife.
I'm at home. I don't know about all of what you said right now, but yeah, I'm at home, that's right. All right, but Harsha's is home as well when he's in Australia, because they love him like one of their own. He's ours, send him back. We of course have Harsha, some golden moments we're talking about. Let's go over here.
Quite a few things actually, because it's been such a long tour. But you know, you have the main course and you have the sides. So I'll talk about the sides first. I thought Ravichandran Ashwin bowled beautifully in the first test and contributed those runs with Pujara, with Rohit Sharma to take India to 250. So that was one thing. I thought Ajinkya Rahane's counter attack in the second innings, when the game was in the balance, that 70 that he scored made a big difference to where the Adelaide test went. The relentless pressure of the fast bowlers was so good to see. I mean, I've been coming here so many years. It's something I haven't seen. So there was that. There were the two run-outs. One in the one-dayers from Jadeja and one sensational one from Patrick Cummins during the test match. And sometimes, you know, these direct hits, they just stay in your head. They cause you to remember that. I thought Rishabh Pant's century, Kuldeep Yadav's fifer as well, and the arrival of Mayank Agarwal. I thought Nathan Lyon bowled beautifully in the first two test matches as well. So those were the side dishes. What was the main course for me? 5 years from now, what will I remember this series for? I'll remember Pujara at Adelaide. I know he got 2 other hundreds, but he set it up in Adelaide. If India had not got to 250 that day, then then the series might have gone differently. So Pujara, big part of the series. Kohli's century in Perth. I know Australia won that test match. It was just a magnificent display of batsmanship. So Kohli at Perth, and then Bumrah at Melbourne. India had got the runs on the board, but really that was where the series was decided, to see Bumrah take those 6 wickets, that slow one to get rid of Marsh. So those are my 3 things. So the 3 main courses: Pujara's 100, Kohli's 100 and Bumrah's 6 at Melbourne.
Plenty to choose from there, from what Harsha was saying. Is it, okay, if I was to pick mine, I would say the pace bowler battery. That was definitely, as a fan, to watch in Australia, to watch the Indian pacers together, all of them. Otherwise, you know, a lot of times it was just Zach alone, man.
No, not really. No, but you rightly said, plenty to choose from.
Yeah.
And plenty to choose from also reflects on the fact that it has been a team effort.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Good
something
point.
which was very evident right throughout the series. Like, you won't see just one bowler running through through the Australian batting lineup. You had contributions in different phases of the game from different bowlers. You have X factor of Bumrah, which was there in Melbourne. You had Shami's six-wicket haul
that
as
is.
well.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you, but what a picture that is.
Exactly, that's the X factor of Bumrah.
Yeah.
You look at the scores in Melbourne and the way he bowled and created that impact on the game was phenomenal. And Ishant supported really well. So I think on the whole, you'll see that Ashwin's even though he was injured later half of the series, he picked up those crucial wickets in Adelaide, which really set the tone for the series in a way. Pujara's impact on the whole series has been phenomenal. And Mayank in such a short time had such an amazing impact on the whole series, because openers have been struggling right throughout, and he's come out there and brought that energy, showed that openers can take on this Australian bowling attack, which is very crucial because the attack was really threatening with the new Kookaburra ball, and that's something which was great to see. So on the whole, I think even Virat's Perth Test 100 was one of the best innings I've seen in Test matches in tough conditions. That also had a great impact on the series in terms of how you're responding to the challenge which Indian team was put under in the second Test match. The series was levelled. So going in Melbourne to have that kind of an innings backing up, the leader can then dictate in terms of how the batting lineup should respond. And they responded beautifully in Melbourne.
I think you were worried with Mayank Agarwal that, with all his Ranji noise in the last couple of seasons, you kept thinking Mayank Agarwal will be, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. But as soon as he got centre stage, he just showed that he had been waiting for this opportunity. And Pujara, of course, great to see Pujara's runs. Just a quick question about that, because he was dropped in the first Test match against England. You think a guy's a surety and he gets dropped. Can that rattle you for the time to come?
It does. It does. In fact, last couple of years, I think he's been. I remember in West Indies when Anil was coach. I think that it started there. They dropped him first, brought him back. He made a lot of changes. He got run out a couple of times because the pressure plays on you.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a human being. You want to be part of a team, and whether it's the leader, whether it's the coach, they feel that there's something missing. That's why they're leaving you out. When you want to be part of that team, you would make that effort, extra effort. So you saw him get run out in Test matches a few times. You saw him get out playing shots that he would not normally play. That pressure was definitely playing on him till even in England, as you said. But I thought this series was pretty settled. Not that I watched ball by ball, too early in the morning for me. It is. I mean, it like
no, it's too late at night for you.
You could say that. You could say that. So, but but he looked much calmer. He just carried about doing his business, and that's Cheteshwar Pujara. He's fought all the odds. For me, I think more than his batting, which maybe a lot of people may enjoy. I don't enjoy him. I enjoy other players watching. I watch other players, but this man, I admire this man.
Yeah.
Not just for the number of runs that he scored in this innings. It's the struggle that he's had, even to get into that Saurashtra team. He had a big fight and a battle there. And after what he's done with Test cricket, which everybody's seen, and people who watch the series know exactly how well he's played. But the real innings that I think Pujara plays is the most important one is what he plays back in Gujarat in Rajkot. He set up a cricket ground where it is not in the center of the city. It's a little outside. It's his personal ground. He has all the equipment lying out there. He has, in fact, a bus that takes kids from the city to the ground. Amazing. Back. So this is a man who loves cricket. He may not be the best player because he's in an era of Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma and Ajinkya Rahane, all these players who are flamboyant, are better players. But this man loves cricket no less than anybody else.
And this is for free for the kids, right? His father manages it,
and not many people can get through after a battle with the board or with their association in their own little backyard when you aren't a Test player. So his father was fighting that battle. In spite of that, he's played. He's had 2 knee surgeries. Both his knees are gone. He's worked towards that. And in this day and age where fitness is considered to be at another level, he still managed to be there. So I admire the Pujara, the human being, more than his batting, whereas he's got 300.
This was going to happen. Obviously, he was going to fight. He's a revolutionary. It's his first name, Che. right?
Che.
Your first name is Che. You're going to be
Only
a
the
revolutionary,
only
man.
the
You're going to
cigar
fight
is-
the system.
Only the cigar is missing.
He's,
He has a bat in his hand.
Trust me, when
He's
a
a-
few more centuries and he's going to be sitting on the ground with that little rocking chair on the side, probably with his cigar saying, "Play, children, play."
How did you think of that?
I don't know, I don't know how this mind works in mysterious ways.
Early morning, this mind
How you
works
put
in
Che and Cheteshwar together?
I don't know. It just happens. Oh, the match has started. Oh, the match has stopped. 2 balls were bowled, and the rain came down again. So yeah, they've done the long
We missed
walk.
the first 2 balls.
Yeah, well, I think it's gonna. They played it. I was gonna stop, and then the rain came because our discussion was so interesting. The rain decided that.
You know what's
Stop
going
the
to be
game.
affected today with
What?
the rain? On account of rain,
Yeah.
GK's nap timings are going to get
They're
disrupted.
really gonna go haywire, man. And I really, because I had dinner with Ajay, Jadeja, and Ashish Nehra last night, and you know that's not an early dinner, right? So I was really looking forward to that dozy period, over 22 to over 33, perhaps get a nice 30 minutes in. Ain't gonna happen today. It's gonna be pretty messed
You
up.
can't miss that today because that's when you're going to have your 5th and the 6th bowler bowling.
Today.
So keep an eye, keep an eye on it.
So I had decided actually that I'm gonna take naps in 2 shifts, like this first, and then like this, so that both sides get rested enough. Let's talk about Aaron Finch, because Aaron Finch, of course, not been in form, and this kind of, padyatra back and forth, going in and out, it's not gonna help.
I think especially in this game,
Yeah.
because this is a series decider. You're leading the side. You've already in a situation where you've been defensive in your mindset.
Yeah.
You've seen it in the first couple of matches as well. He's wanting to feel comfortable. He thought that he has seen the phase off in the previous game as well, and lost the wicket. He's been getting out bowled and leg before wickets, and that's something as a batsman Ajay will be able to tell you better, that when you're getting out bowled and leg before wickets, as a batsman your confidence is shattered.
Yeah.
So that's something which I think is going to be a very tough climb for Aaron Finch, particularly in this match, to put up a good score.
Rain might just help you because when your brain is all messed up and you, like you said, you're thinking about getting through an innings.
Overthinking.
Here it's okay, 4 balls. He's played 2 balls. Was he on strike?
1 ball he played.
So 1 ball he's gone out. He'll feel confident. He'll come back. Then the bowler's going to be after him. See, as it is, he's getting out. When you are a sitting duck.
Yeah.
If you're in one place, say for 10 overs, you got to play Zach and somebody for 10 overs. You are at the target for 10 overs. Here you play 2 overs, you go out, you come back, you go out, you come back. So it's like he's playing hide and seek. Maybe he'll get away. You got to think the other
Making
way.
it sound like it's great. It's a great spin because
No,
it makes
because
it sound like
see-
you're walking. It's also nice
See, you're-
sometimes for a batsman to walk back to the pavilion without getting out.
Yeah.
He didn't get out.
No, and you have to think. See the mindset of the
Oh,
batsman
he's
might
supposed
be.
to do this now.
So the mindset of the batsman might be messed up, but now it will mess up the bowler's mind because he doesn't know whether after the rain when I come back I'm going to bowl or is there going to be a change, limited overs. If the overs are curtailed, then Bhuvneshwar Kumar doesn't have 10 overs,
Yeah.
so he might bowl instead of bowling 4 overs at the start, he might bowl 3. So every ball when you're getting out, every ball is a
that's
bonus when you're in there.
Exactly, but that's a great point that we keep talking about the rain affecting the batsman. It obviously affects the bowlers as well.
Yeah.
Right?
It does,
Because
because
you
you
gotta
have
limber
to
up,
start
warm
again.
up, yeah.
And you've seen many bowlers, they usually take first couple of deliveries just to warm up, and then
Yeah.
the engine starts and it flows nicely. So that's something which you have to restart again every time.
Yeah.
Lot of bowlers get affected with that. Also with rain around, you'll have these your run up also gets little soggy at
Yeah.
times, slippery. So as a bowler at times you struggle with that as well.
Yeah, that can be that's one of the most scary things to watch. Like when you're watching it, every now and then you see a bowler will just slip when he's at the crease, and that's painful to watch. So I can't even imagine what happens if that's happened to you, and then you're going back again. It's always playing on your mind.
That's the reason you see those pile of sawdust lying
Yeah.
there, just to create that more grip at the crease. But that's something which you have to again learn with experience. Figure out a way of how you go about your business if it's a rain affected game. or sometimes in windy conditions, if it's behind your back, you'll see people bowling no balls because you're putting in the same kind of effort in your run up, but the wind is behind you, so you'll end up bowling those no balls.
Well, that can probably only happen with Chahal. I think Chahal can be pushed ahead with the wind. I don't think you could ever be like pushed ahead with the wind.
In fact,
strong wind.
In fact, with the strong wind, you'll create more momentum. So I used to enjoy bowling with the wind because the run up, you just take it easy.
Obviously,
yeah, just stroll through and the momentum is created. So that's something. These things are very small things, but affect in a big way. So rain being around, grounds being wet, even when they remove the covers, at times you'll see these wet patches on the ground can be tricky. So that's something which you have to figure out. Personally, for me, I used to be extra cautious when there was rain around.
Yeah.
And you'll see those hamstrings also giving way because of that, because the ground is heavy, so your hamstrings also working harder than normal.
Would you? So that means if that's happening, if the wind is giving you a little more momentum, that's if the wind's behind you.
Yeah.
What if the wind is cross? On the ground, has it ever happened to you that you started out bowling over the wicket but you've gone around the wicket?
It used to happen many times. Of course, it plays a huge factor. It depends.
Umpires looking here for you, there you are.
The advantage which I had was I used to select the end which I was bowling from.
Seniors can do that, right?
So that used to work in my favor. But yeah, at times you have to work hard on if you're bowling in the wind. Like I remember the story in Wellington because Wellington is so windy
Wellington.
Yeah. So from Bombay to New Zealand we're traveling, and I kept telling on the way to New Zealand saying I'm going to bowl with the wind. So Ashish Nehra was with me. He's saying, what the fuss? Like, why is he creating so much? Like, okay, I'll bowl against the breeze.
Yeah.
Like, okay, fine.
Because Ashish Nehra avoids fuss completely.
End of that match.
End
of that match is saying, यार Zaheer Khan, एक और नहीं किया इसने against we had a deal, you agreed to it. You can't back off now.
That's what the fuss was about. Ashish learned the hard way. That's good.
But
Certainly did.
But Wellington is tough ground to bowl against.
Yeah, you can imagine. I mean, with now, of course, this game is happening in Melbourne, and you're hoping that there's no rain because we don't want what happened in the T20 series to happen in the one days. You don't want it to be decided by the rain and sharing the trophy. There's no fun in that. But if indeed the rain decides to pass, and you do get a 50-over game, given the conditions as what they are, what's the score that you think would be good, given that now the Indian team has confidence in terms of chasing after the previous game? What would Australia be looking? Australia would be thinking, we can't give 260, 270 because that's a walk in the park.
Yeah,
for India.
I don't think in modern day cricket, especially if the conditions are normal, because sitting here it's very difficult. I didn't even watch the first couple of balls. So it is tough to say, but you look at what has happened, 280. 80 plus, 290 they've got to every time after losing a couple of wickets in the first 10 overs.
Yeah.
And you didn't have anybody in the middle overs.
No.
And today it's even weaker. So I don't see anything less than that. And today, last 10 overs, if you get to those last 10 overs with only 3 wickets down, Australia gets there, they'll get a lot many more than the last game. This is such a big ground. They'll run 2 from every one of them.
Yeah, they got like 90 odd in the last 10 overs.
No, and everyone that you have on the field, because fielding hasn't changed. I was talking about Raidu and fielding and outfield. You got Kedar, who's not much different.
He's got a shorter stride.
So,
It takes poor fella. Imagine him running with Dhoni, by the way. I was like, Virat runs well with Dhoni, DK runs well. Poor Kedar's really going to get a workout today.
Kedar, you can defend him by saying that he's been working hard in the gym. What's this logic of short step?
I mean, he is a shorter guy, He is. Poor guy.
So close to what we've seen in the last.
And then he bowls even more lower trajectory.
Listen, I have always said Kedar Jadhav is 3 bowlers in one. He's here, and he's here. Which bowler is going to bowl, you have no idea. It can be tough to read, right? In conditions like that.
You can add a couple more because the knee sometimes goes lower and then lower.
Okay, the reason we're messing about so much is because there's been rain, of course, in Melbourne. So the start of the match. Well, it did start. 2 balls were bowled, and then sort of it's come back again. But we have the joy factor question because here it's raining as well, but with knowledge. Yes. Let's see what the joy factor question is for today. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Tough one.
Is it?
Ain't easy. Only 2 people have this specific achievement in Test cricket. We're talking about a minimum of 50 matches. One of them is Chris Martin. Who is the other? So this is not the Chris Martin of Coldplay that we're talking about.
Oh.
This is the Chris Martin of New Zealand that we're talking about. What is this?
That's just something to do with batting.
Did Chris Martin
Yeah,
play
Chris
50
Martin
matches?
used to be a bowler, so it has to be something with.
So if he says 50 minimum,
with batting,
then it has to
yeah.
be something
But
to
Chris
do
Martin played 50 Test matches.
Has
I
played
don't
more
think-
than that.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
for New Zealand, not for India.
No, I know, not for
I
India.
think he's played close to 100 Test matches.
Chris Martin played 100
Yeah,
Test matches?
close to 100. I'm not
While
sure about the
taking
number.
out 5
I'm
albums?
very.
That's amazing.
I'm not very sure about the numbers, but
Don't worry,
yeah.
we've got a student of the Abhideep over here. He's working on it. He's going to tell us in just 1 second. But this is a tricky one.
It is.
He played 71 Test matches, is what Professor Joy's favorite student Abhideep. This Bengali mafia we have going on over here. Has said 71 Test matches. I literally have no idea on this.
Ishant Sharma's played 90 plus.
Of course.
More than Zaheer Khan now.
Yeah, he's played more than. That's so funny.
Does he become a better bowler? No, just for people with
Sir,
stats.
quantity and quality are two
This-
different words.
Just
The
because it's
numbers.
raining, you can't just go on.
यार मेरे से बताओ.
He's given
Number
the joy
game.
factor question.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come back to it. Could be.
What happens after joy factor?
No, I mean it could be Ishant Sharma as well. Maybe he's trying to give you a clue. Could be not. I don't know. Well, anyway, if you know the answer, hashtag Cricbuzz Live. Tweet us your answer. Today is a tough one, but it is after all the last match that's happening in Australia. So Joyda decided that he was gonna whack it out of the park, and he really has. So, just in case we want to refresh your memory, we'll just pull the card up again so you can have a look at the question. And while you do that, I'm of course going to tell the gentlemen that they have to think of their number for the guessing game, because today we don't even know if you're going to have 50 overs. So this guessing game becomes even more interesting. How much is Australia going to get? You know, I've got it right pretty much both times. No, I've got it right once, you got it right.
So we don't know what are we predicting for, whether it's
That's
50 overs.
That's exactly what makes it more interesting, doesn't it?
Tukka matlab.
The
Today
guess-
is
full
proper
tukka.
tukka.
Full tukka.
Every day is tukka.
Yeah.
We have no clue what the wicket is like. Because I see, for me to look at a cricket match, the most important things are a pitch, what kind of wicket that the ball is going to land on, what stage the ball is, because the ball has a 5.5 ounce. When it's shiny, it can do certain things. When it's rough, it can do certain things.
Yeah.
So conditions are the most important thing.
But
It's
I am
only
saying
at
that
the end
even
of
if
that
you,
the players come.
even if you saw the pitch
So-
and the ball in the condition, I still feel that all stroke predictions are just a guessing game.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
So I've just decided to take away all the seriousness from it and just say it's a guessing game.
Yeah.
You guys can take part in that as well. You have no idea how many overs Australia actually going to play because of the rain. Is it 50? Could be 40. Could be 4. We have no idea. But the guessing game still holds true.
4 is an hour.
But the safest guess is they'll play 2 balls.
That's the safest guess because that's happened already.
Happened.
That's right.
That's what numbers
Not,
tell you.
not much of a
Past.
prediction then, is it? Not much of a prediction if it's already happened in the past. So, all right, I'll start it off. I am saying that there's going to be 46 overs of play and Australia is going to reach 301.
My prediction is 260.
260. How many overs do you think? It's a two-pronged
Doesn't
guessing
matter
game.
now.
No, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
So mine also doesn't matter. 301, 260. You're saying?
218 because time is 8:18. So 18 is the number I've taken. 218. Well, if you're guessing-
218, 218. So
Yeah.
you're obviously looking at a
Why
range
not
shortened
318?
game.
Because no 318 is too much because the overs will be curtailed.
But
If it rains.
the fifth bowler is an issue, then it
No,
should
but
work
if you only have a
towards on the
28
218, it's a remarkable
what if you have a
achievement.
28 over game? अबे तुक्के ही लगा रहे हैं
यार तुक्के ही लगा रहे हैं, इतनी साइंस क्यों लगा रहे हो इसमें?
इतना
ठीक है,
दिमाग
चलो.
सुबह सुबह नहीं लगता
तो
वैसे।
guess आ गए 301, 260, 218. We have no idea how long the game will be, but we can tell you that if there is a 15th over, then you will see us on Cricbuzz Combox. If there is no 15th over, I don't know what the rule book is. Where's the manual for that?
You need
So
minimum
then
20
Crick
overs.
was like,
You need minimum 20 overs to complete the game of ODI.
Yeah, but if it's 20 overs, then maybe we can
Each
take the
side.
result and put it in the T20 series. सर वो वाली खत्म नहीं हुई थी तो इसका रिजल्ट वहां लगा दो.
Actually, अगर इतनी इतनी बारिश हो जाए और समझो 25
I think you should wrap.
Yeah. I think we should wrap.
इतनी बारिश हो जाए और 25 ओवर होने वाले हैं.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea to just play a 20-20 game. Because that's how one day cricket also started. Test match नहीं हुआ था 4 दिन one day शुरू कर दी थी. But at least it makes sense. You know, one day we
And that happened at MCG, incidentally.
Was it?
Again, in 1971. And we're at MCG again.
कितनी
Are
चीजें
we
हो
going
गई?
to see history being made today? We might, with the number of bizarre things we said in the show today.
Yeah.
I think we are going to make history. But we're going to wrap it up right now because it's breakfast time for us. That's all we have time for. We've got to go. Thank you very much, Mr. Ajay Jadeja. Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you,
Zaheer
Zaheer.
Khan. Thank you to all of you. We just had a little extra fun today because there is rain. So we decided, since it has rained on your parade with the game, let's just have some fun. और थोड़ी खुशी की छींटें आपको दे दें on Cricbuzz Live. We're going to come back. I'm Gaurav Kapur. Big thank you for watching. We'll see you soon.